Guys, it's great to have you on the show. First time. It's been way too long. Of course, we're excited about the new music coming out of the Waverly camp, and it's good to see you guys back at it.
Yeah, how's it going, Paul?
It's going good. It's going good. Of course, I didn't actually mention you guys by name, but we got Matt, we got Dave, and they're both from Waverly, and we're excited about having you guys on. Of course, the song "Pressure" has been doing really well on the national charts, which is always a plus. And it's like I said, it's just good to see you guys making music again.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's good to be making music again.
Nice.
Took a little, you go so long without releasing any music under that name, and you're like, you start itching for it. I feel like even as early as one of the first times we all hung out after our band broke up, we were like, when are we going to do our reunion show?
Right. I feel you there. Cool. So now when you guys started getting back together and started, at least saying we're definitely going to do this, how long was it from the time that you guys decided that it was going to happen to the time that you guys at least had the 2 songs written that are on the EP that's out now?
Matt, was it like 7 or 8 months before we started like production on them? We had the songs were kind of written. They kind of had skeletons written around, the basic framework was there for these songs.
We have the funny thing is that a couple of parts of Pressure were actually written while we were still a band. They were from a different song. And then we wait, is that Pressure? That's Strangers.
You mean Strangers? I was like, I was gonna let you go. I was like, where's he going? Maybe he's using some hyperbole here.
Now come on, guys, there's only 2 songs on the album. Getting them mixed up this early on in the interview is not a good sign.
It's been a while, Paul.
Yeah, Paul. So Strangers was actually a song, like there are parts of that song that were written while we were still a band, and then we never used the song.
Right.
But we broke up, and then in 2016 we really started talking about getting back together, and so then we decided 2017 was going to be the 10-year mark from when we released Conquering the Fireflight.
Mm-hmm.
And when we really got out there as Waverly, so we decided we would do stuff in 2017. And then like Dave's saying, it took us quite a while to finish the songs, even though it was just 2, but we were also like taking our time. That's one of the best things about getting back together, and not doing it full time, is that you don't feel the pressure to get it all done.
Right.
You just you get to have as much fun as you want with it. So you have an idea, and then a month later you're like, man, I just had this new idea, and it's way better than that first idea. And there's no time, there's no like deadline or whatever. So you just get to keep messing around with stuff. But it took like Dave said, probably 6 to 8 months to get those songs to a finishing point.
Nice.
Yeah. The cool part to me was how it started, Matt. It was like, I don't remember what tour it was on. I've been playing for Audio Adrenaline for the past 3-4 years, and our drummer Teddy has been Hollywood of Family Force 5 for the past few years, and we were on the same tour together. I think it was the Rock and Worship.
It was the Rock and Worship Road Show.
Yeah, and we came and played in Santa Fe. Is that right?
No, you guys were in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I was.
Why do I always get that mixed up?
I don't know. It's weird out there. Dawn and I were living in New Mexico because I was working at a radio station, and our radio station was covering the concert. We were giving away tickets and all that stuff. So we all met and hung out at the Rock and Worship Road Show.
So the plan really started between me, you, and Teddy.
Yeah.
We were like, let's do a reunion, and then that just kind of snowballed into, we've got some music and we have a little money that we can put towards it, so let's do a couple songs too. And then that turned into, let's do a couple songs and a couple shows, and then that snowballed into, let's release a couple songs every 3 to 6 months or so as we get them and can record them, just to like give songs to our fans and to just keep making music together. So it was just really cool how it just started, the 3 of us talking, and snowballed into a really, really cool year last year.
Yes.
I don't think I'm ever going to forget how surreal it was when we went through all the crap to get the show going in Tupelo, our hometown. We finally get up there, like we had to find another sound system because the dude pulled out on us last minute, all this crazy stuff.
Oh, no.
And then it's showtime and the lights are down and you hear the intro to Conquering the Fireflight, the da-da, da-da, and people start screaming, and all of a sudden
it was cool.
Was 2007 again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like,
I know.
I'm not ever going to forget that moment. We were so amped when they started screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I couldn't even play my guitar right. I was so excited.
And not to mention, like Dave said, we played 2 reunion shows, and I swear it was like we were just thrust right back into how it used to be, because our band, we were just like, every step of the way it seemed like something would go horribly wrong. And so we're just trying to do this reunion show, hometown 10-year reunion show. Like literally within the same week of when the record came out, we played our record release show in the same venue where we did our record release show. Like it's the whole thing, just bookending this whole thing. And then this guy pulls out, he's supposed to do all the sound and everything, and then he's just like, literally, I think a week and a half before the show or something like that. So we're scrambling. We get there. Of course, nobody's showing up early, and we had some buddies playing. I forgot about that detail. Yeah, we had buddies playing with us, and they were like, "Oh, the crowd was okay." And so I'm whenever we did shows, I was the one that was always like in charge of, especially hometown shows. And so it's, I don't know, like you look back at it, you're like, why would you just welcome so much stress into your life? And then we're doing a reunion, and I'm like, I guess I'll just do it again.
The best part is, like Matt said before the show started, there was only 20 or 30 people out there in the auditorium. And Matt comes backstage to all of us, and he goes, guys, I have made a huge mistake. He's like, I have wasted. He goes, I'm so sorry for wasting all your time. We're like, dude, this is going to be fun. No worries. I'm going to get on stage, and the room was packed. So it was like,
yeah, it was awesome.
And then we all remembered, that's exactly how it was at our hometown. Every single time. There'd be 10, 15 people, and they get on stage, and the room would be packed. They just wait, I guess, to the last minute.
Or they wait out in the lobby, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was a joke we never knew about. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get them again."
The thing is our fan base, the original fan base, even back as far as like freshman 15, is made up of our college buddies, our moms and dads, and our cousins, and our best friends from long ago. So it's like, and the whole thing felt like a big family reunion. So to me, I'm like, that's why they're out there hanging out. It's because they're all friends, they're all family, and they're just kind of hanging out. It was a really, really cool experience.
Cool. Well, lest there be some confusion for people who haven't listened to as many podcasts that either one of you guys have been on, Freshman 15 was the name of Waverly before y'all were Waverly.
Right. Yeah, that was like our pop punk alter ego.
Our college band.
Now, see, I think that this is kind of funny because Matt, for a while you were in House of Heroes too, right?
Yes, I was. After Waverly broke up,
right?
I was the first one to jump into another band, but I actually did a tour with them before we officially broke up.
Right.
We decided to take the summer off. We did this tour with The Wedding and Pioneer and Satellites and Sirens, and we were gone for a month solid. And that's a pretty solid lineup.
Oh, I agree.
But we were lucky if 30 people came to any of the shows. It was awful. And so we all got home. I'll never forget the moment when Seth, who was our guitar player, he was like, well, guys, we can't pay ourselves anything this tour. So, yeah. And so we all had to immediately just go back to work.
Lovely.
And it's like I had just taken a month off for no reason. But then, too, when you get to that point and those are the things you're thinking about, it's hard to enjoy being in a touring band anymore. So we decided to take the summer off, and House of Heroes, their bass player, AJ, decided he wasn't going to go on the road again. Right. And so Tim was like, can you do it? And we didn't have anything planned. So I went out with them. It was a blast. And Tim told me to tell you hello, by the way.
Nice.
Me or Paul?
Both of you.
I like Tim, too.
Not you, Dave.
We're going to get him to play on the next two.
Yeah, he was going to try to play on the last one, but and then
said, when we were tracking guitars, he told Matt to tell me, hey, tell Dave if he wants a real guitar player to come in and track guitars, just holler.
Yeah. And it's cool. We have a lot of common ties with House of Heroes because it turned out, and this is totally zipping back to our previous discussion, going back the topic to the home show.
Yeah.
Seth ended up not being able to play, and he kind of bowed out, and we needed another guitar player, and Nuke from House of Heroes learned our stuff in like an hour or whatever. Probably not literally that, but he totally learned.
Say that our stuff is easier than House of Heroes?
I'm trying to say he's really, really good. He was telling us how to play.
And our stuff is a lot easier than House of Heroes.
Right. But he filled in for the show. That was another cool thing about recording the two songs was that every member of Waverly was involved. Like our original drummer was involved and Teddy was involved. So it was a really, really special thing. But yeah, so we have a lot of close ties with House of Heroes.
It's fun that you went that far with it, because all I was going to say is that it was funny that y'all both started out under different names, both started out playing kind of pop punk music and then changed into stuff that was more intricate. But I like where you went with it.
Totally.
Dude, we were mega fans of House of Heroes. Like when we first saw them at Rage Fest in Phoenix,
Yeah.
I was a little bit starstruck when I was like, those are the House of Heroes guys. Because they had music videos and stuff on TV.
Oh, yeah.
So it was really cool to become friends with them and go on tour with them and rough it with those guys for a couple months.
They got to be really. I had every night I was on that, because the first tour I did with them, it was, let's see, House of Heroes, and then William Beckett from Academy Is, and then Hello Goodbye, and then Reliant K.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first tour with House of Heroes. So I was like, and they were one of my favorite bands, like Dave was saying, since college. I remember, because Dave and I both worked at churches when we were in college, and we would get the Interlink box in. And
oh, yeah.
That's how I discovered House of Heroes, and probably Reliant K too. But every night I was flipping out before the show because I was so nervous. It's like, everybody else in this band is so good, and I'm the weakest link, and we're on tour with Reliant K. What am I doing? Every single night. But it was
funny.
And now I work with Tim, so I see that joker every day.
Right. Cool. I like that. So
I have no new information about House of Heroes records.
dude, I wasn't going to ask. Ask. But since you brought
it up. I bet you weren't.
What I want to know is, I mean, you guys have gotten back together in as much as you've recorded a couple songs, you played a couple of reunion shows. Both the tracks on the 2-track EP, if you want to call it an EP or whatever, are good. I think they're some of the best stuff you guys have ever done.
Thanks, man.
Totally looking into the future and dreaming, what would it take to do Waverly full time again? And I know that this is a tall order to ask, but what would it take?
A couple of tour buses.
Okay.
Dave, I can't even. Dave and I have actually been like, man, would you ever do it again? I don't know that I could slip back into a full time touring mode.
Right.
I mean, Dave just got out of it.
Yeah.
For the most part, and he still goes out. Like, he's still going out and playing shows with Tate and Adam from Audio Adrenaline.
Right.
Dave still does it all the time, but I don't know if I could anymore. I think I'm just out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. I mean,
we would love to do. Well, I'm going to say this when my wife isn't listening.
Okay.
We would love to do. She's in the other room going, what? It'd be really cool if we could just have random shows every year. We want to play a Tupelo every year and make it a big thing and fundraiser for the city, like kind of give back. And I'd love to go back to Albuquerque every year too,
Yeah,
but as far as like full time, I don't know. I'm leading worship at a church here in Franklin that I just love. And today I was editing a podcast and I pressed pause and looked at my wife and I was like, I love what I'm doing right now. So
yeah,
it's like it would be really hard because it's like I miss touring, but man, when I tour and I come home and my little 2-year-old boy looks a little bit different and I missed it, I'm like, man, what am I doing?
That's the thing. We both have kids now, and it's just like I just can't imagine. But see, I don't know, because Dawn is she's still going to be touring,
Right.
So Johnny still is going to get to travel, which that's really important to me too. But I just really like having a routine and having some sort of stability, because like when you're in a band and you're touring full time, really the only stability you have is chaos.
Right.
You're going to wake up.
Is that like is that a line from the Joker?
Probably.
The only stability you have is chaos.
I'm an agent of chaos. Yes. Anyway, that's all you have. So you wake up and you're just like, well, what's going to go wrong today? And granted, you still have that in any path of life or whatever. But I think when you're on tour, it's like the rest of your day is completely affected by a flat tire.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Whereas when you're home, you can have a flat tire and you can be like, this isn't that big a deal.
I got to call an Uber and I'll get it towed in later on today, and that's fine.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's way more manageable.
Yeah, for sure. Pressure has been charting and doing so well, and I know people have really been digging on it. Tell us a little bit about that song in general.
So the original idea for that song was, I forget where it was in the timeline after Waverly broke up, but me and Teddy Bowl, we really wanted to start like a Nashville band that just kind of played around in random gigs and just, threw down 4 or 5 songs, party band kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And while we were tossing around that idea, I was shopping songs to try to get a publishing deal in this town and become a full-fledged songwriter and do that whole thing. And I was just getting closed door after closed door after closed door. And so, some people in this town are really good about shooting you straight. But then a lot of them will say things like, yeah, we'd love to work with you. Let me your schedule. I'll get back with you, blah, blah, blah. And then you never hear from them again. They don't answer your emails, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so I just got so mad. And I was like, I'm just going to write a song as like a down with the man kind of a thing. And I just wanted to be free and just write some really fun music. And so that's kind of where Pressure came out of. Was for me, it was the beginning of it with that spark. And then Matt helped finish the lyrics. So, Matt, where were you writing from? Like, what was your inspiration writing those lyrics for, like, the verse and stuff?
I'm just a big Chicago fan. They're my inspiration.
Would you say they're the meaning in your life?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I know I got it as soon as Dave conveyed the idea to me. Because the one thing, going back to like cherishing a routine or whatever, the pitfall of a routine is that it gets boring.
Mm-hmm.
And there are boring moments on the road, boring like stretches or whatever, but something crazy happens every day, so not so much in working life, I guess you could say. So kind of like that.
Okay.
I guess that's just that it comes from, it's nothing crazy like deep or whatever. We had somebody reviewed it. What was the word they used, Dave? We were like, what's he talking about? I think they were trying to find a deeper meaning for Pressure, but there wasn't one.
I remember somebody saying something. I can't remember what they said.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Me and you both being like, what is that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, we looked it up and we were like, oh, he was just trying to find some deep spiritual reference out of it, and it's really just, you get bored at work.
But I think the Pressure thing for me just came along the lines of, like, anytime you're trying to like break the mold and start something new and do something different, there's just like this weight and this pressure on you to what's what I'm looking for?
Like a standard?
Yeah, I guess you put this standard on yourself, like, and I got to measure up to this, and like, I got to work this many hours a day, or this is not going to happen. And then when you put all of yourself into that and you go so far down the road and then you realize it's still not working like you planned.
Right.
You're like, I just can't take this anymore. Like, and for me, I think when it comes to songwriting and music, to make it spiritual, Matt, to kind of go along with that guy, I really just kind of had to let go of that, like, control over it and be like, God, you have given me this gift and I'm trying my hardest to use it in this direction. And God was like, that's awesome, but I want you to use it in this direction over here. And then once I kind of let go of that and was feeling all the pressure of all that stuff, to me, it just seemed like putting on like a perfectly fitted glove. It's like I started writing and using my talents for this church, that I'm at now. And it just seemed to work right. And then all of a sudden there's like fruit, and then there's people that's being affected by what I'm doing, as opposed to feeling like I was just running on a treadmill for a whole year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what it means to me now. I know why I wrote it then, but looking back now, that's kind of what I took away from it.
Nice. Now, going back to the guy who was writing up a review of it, and you're saying he was
the word was enigmatic.
Enigmatic.
I looked at the review. He calls it an odd duck, and he says it's enigmatic. Yeah, and then we looked that up. We were like, come on, man. But then he says he really, really like it gets stuck in your head, which was kind of the purpose of that song anyway. It's really catchy.
Yeah, for sure. So what wins out? The flattery of him believing that you guys were like capable of being so much deeper based on past work, or the regret that the song wasn't deeper than it was?
No, I think flattery.
Okay, good.
Good. Flattery wins out.
I have no regrets. I love that song, man.
Nice. Very cool. Now, briefly, I enjoyed watching the music video that you guys did for the other track, Strangers in Love. What was the experience like having that done? Because I didn't really see you guys much in there, as much as I might have thought I would, but at the same time, it was a very intriguing music video. What was the story behind that?
So that was really cool. Like I said, I used to work at Calvary, Albuquerque. I worked at a radio station there, and one of the guys that worked with me actually approached us about doing the video because he's building his portfolio and everything, and so he totally was just like, when you guys come in to do your show, I just want to get some shots of you guys playing, and then I'm gonna handle the B-roll, which is the story. And we were like, okay. And I knew him, and so I trusted him. So I was like, guys, check out this dude's work, and let's all see what we can do. The Albuquerque show, it was Dave and myself and Ryan Kuhn. We call him Kuhn. He's our keyboard player, and Janie Hayes, our original drummer. And then, like I said, Seth kind of bowed out. So Nuke came out to play Albuquerque with us. And so that's who we had there. Teddy actually recorded the drums for Strangers.
Okay.
But then Jamie played them live. And so it was cool. So that's who you see in the video. You see the four of us. Nuke didn't want to be in the video.
Fair enough.
So the funny thing is we actually recorded more stuff for the lyric video of Pressure. There's like some B-roll footage, I guess you would call it, of us riding around in the van.
Right.
Like at midnight.
Yeah, we ended up not using it.
We had set up all the sound and done all this crazy work for that Tupelo show. We're all sweaty because it was burning up and humid in Mississippi. And then at midnight, we hop in the van to make that stupid video. And we were like, what are we doing? We're all sweaty. We had to drive around with the interior lights on, and we're like, we're going to get pulled over.
Yeah,
like, cops in Mississippi are going to be like, what are these skinny jean wearing dudes doing?
Right.
At midnight.
They don't trust you in Mississippi for anything, especially if you have on skinny jeans. But there's a clip, I think, and because we posted I think Kuhn posted the kind of like the blooper reel or whatever. Yeah. And all of that footage ended up. We didn't use any of it.
The funny thing about the Strangers video is we kind of also filmed that one in the same way. It's like, we had, how many services does Calvary do on Saturday?
They did one Saturday night and then 3 Sunday morning.
Oh, wow. Okay, so 3 Sunday morning services that we were there for to like kind of do a worshipful, I guess I call them specials. Yeah. Special song. And we did that. We were there all morning kind of thing. And then we get down and I think before lunch, we went over to the other building and shot that video too. So it's funny how always doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was a really cool
it's in the moment, you're just sitting there going, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But then later, you're
I was really happy we did it, man.
Nice.
It's just the whole year it just blossomed into something really cool. We started that tiny little idea. Let's play a show.
Yeah.
And it just grew into people, and that was the coolest thing to watch. Was people coming alongside. I've always loved Waverly. I'm so glad you guys are doing stuff. How can I help you? Everybody was like a part of it, and I really think that it was cool. Special to some people. I thought about this. And I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, can you imagine if one of our favorite bands had done something special like that for us? Some shows and some lyric videos and released 2 songs. Like, can you imagine how pumped you'd be? I really hope that that's what our fans took away from it, was that it was special and that it was for them.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, real quick, I know that you guys are kind of running short on time, but what is the future output looking like at this point, and kind of a timeline on that?
I don't know.
Timeline. Like I said, we're kind of leaving it wide open.
Right.
It's funny too because I try to be the great organizer of things, and then I come up with these plans, and then later I'm like, man, that's a stupid plan. Or it's like, why did I think that more so than that? It's probably just we don't really need a plan, so there's no there's no really real reason to come up with a plan. But right now we're working with Jay Hall, who produced a ton of stuff. He did Abandoned Kansas, his last record. He did
Story of the
Year. Yeah, he just mixed the big chunk of their new record. He's got a ton of stuff. He did Colors for House of Heroes and the Smoke EP before that. So he's done a ton of great music, and he's a good dude. He's actually working with Fireflight right now with some of their new music that I can't talk about. And but so we're working with him. Just a couple more songs that we're going to put out whenever they're done, but we're really, really excited about it.
We're halfway through. I mean, we have one song that's everything's done except for vocals, and the next one we got to do quite a bit of work on. But we've already started production on that stuff, which is really cool. That's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Very cool. Well, real quick, the last thing that I always like to ask people, and Matt, this one for you has a bit of a twist.
Okay.
But I always typically ask people, what is the most unrock and roll thing about you? And because I knew I was going to be talking to you right after talking with your lovely wife, Dawn, I asked her what the most unrock and roll thing about you was. So now you get to reciprocate.
Man, I'm not going to answer that.
Come on, man up, dude.
Okay, I have two, like, the most unrock and roll things that I do, and one of them kind of snuck up on me.
Okay.
One is my favorite sport to play is tennis.
Okay. All right.
So that's pretty unrock and roll. And then the second thing is I, like, really love to mow my grass and, like, plant grass in my backyard. And I get real mad when my dogs tear it up, or if my neighbor, like, cuts his yard weird, makes my yard look bad. I'm like, why'd you gotta do that?
That's the garden, man. Dig it, make it work for you.
And then I'm gonna dig it. And then I'm like, when did that happen to me? When did I start caring about grass? Yeah.
Lovely. All right, Matt, to you. Come on, man. I got to get an answer. She did answer for you. She was pretty nice. She said that the most unrock and roll thing about you is that you lose things, which I thought was rather gentle.
I lose stuff.
That is pretty gentle.
I do. I lose. Let's see. Most unrock and roll thing about me.
No, about Dawn.
Dang it. I was hoping that. You know what? She's she's really good at this.
Okay.
And I'm terrible at it. And I guess if you hold to traditional roles for husband and wife, like, or man and woman, I should be the one that's good at this. But Dawn is really, really good at, like, construction and building things. She can, like, when we go look at places to live, like in our history, we've gone to look at apartments or whatever. I'm walking around going, I could put a TV over there. This window is huge, and then she's like, we leave and she's like, the crown molding was this, there was a problem under the blah, blah, blah. And then this wasn't flush with that. And then she knows all, and it's because her dad was a contractor.
Oh, okay.
He actually helped build some of the resorts at Disney World, like this. So she grew up, like, anytime they had like the Swan and Dolphin or the Beach and Yacht Club, they'd have big opening parties. Their family got to always go for free because her dad was like the head contractor on those hotels. Her house, her old house in Florida, had some of the leftover windows from the Grand Floridian Resort. And he just put them in there. But then Dawn knows about all of that stuff. So she is really, really, like, good at fixing things. So if something goes wrong, I'm kind of standing there scratching my head, and she's like, it's already halfway worked out.
Nice.
And so then I just leave feeling emasculated, which is fine. No, it's cool. But nice. I don't know if that's not so rock and roll. That might be way more rock and roll.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll take it. I mean, I think you guys are both very kind to each other, as married couples should be. Doesn't necessarily make for the best radio, but that's okay. I think that you're setting a good Christian example.
I was expecting her to say something. He plucks his eyebrow, which I do. That's something that I totally do. But I own it because I'm really good at it. I get compliments all the time.
That's really funny.
Somehow I'm making myself look really stupid. I'm going to figure it out.
That's all right. Well, cool deal, guys. Thank you so much for calling in and hanging out with us. I definitely want to do this again when the new stuff drops and whatnot, just because this has been so much fun. So we have to do it again. And, maybe we'll run into each other at some point around Nashville. It'll be fun. Yeah. But in any case, thanks again for your time. And, dudes, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you.